Have you ever wondered why some people seem to build wealth so easily while others work their entire lives and just barely get by? It feels like a huge financial mystery, right? Well, the answer isn't what you think. Let's break down the one single mistake that could be costing you millions.
I want to kick things off with a pretty serious question. What if just one super common mistake could force you to work an extra 15 years? Not because you want to, but because you literally have to. It's a tough reality for millions, and today we're going to figure out exactly what that mistake is, and more importantly, how you can avoid it.
You know, most of us are wired to think that to get wealthy, we need some huge salary. But honestly, that's a total myth. The single biggest financial mistake you can make has almost nothing to do with how much you earn. It's all about when you start. Putting off investing, even for a few years, is this invisible trap that can cost you decades of your freedom.
Okay, to really see this in action, let's dive into a little story. We'll call it a tale of two investors. Now they have the same job, they make the same salary, and they even invest the exact same amount of money every month. But one tiny difference in their strategy sends them to two completely, drastically different futures. So let's meet Person A and Person B. They both put away 10,000 rupee a month. Now, Person A, our early bird, starts at 25 and invests religiously for 15 years, and then stops, cold. Person B, the procrastinator, gets a later start at 35, but to make up for it, they invest for a full 20 years. So who do you think comes out on top? Let's just assume a pretty standard 12% annual return and see where they both land when they turn 60. So at age 60, Person A, our early bird who only invested for 15 years, remember, ends up with a retirement fund of 2.76 crore rupees. That is an absolutely incredible result from a pretty short, disciplined period of investing.
Okay, so you naturally think that Person B, who invested the same amount every month but for 5 years longer, would end up with more money, right? I mean, it just seems like basic math. But this is where our story takes a really dramatic and kind of shocking turn.
Person B, they end up with just 96 lakh rupees. Look, it's not a small amount of money, but it is nearly 1.8 crore rupees less than Person A. They invested for 5 whole years longer. So how on earth is that possible? Well, the answer lies in what's been called the most powerful force in the universe of finance. The huge, massive gap between our two investors, it all comes down to one thing: the magic of compounding. For Person A, it was a superpower. But for Person B, the lack of it, well, it was the villain of their financial story.
And here it is. You can see it right here in black and white. This isn't just a small gap, it's a chasm. Person A's wealth is almost 3 times bigger, and it's all because they got that 10-year head start. That first decade, that's where the real magic happens.
So what exactly is compounding? Just think of a snowball rolling down a huge hill. It starts out tiny, but as it rolls, it picks up more and more snow, getting bigger and faster all the time. Your money does the exact same thing. Your returns start earning their own returns. Person A spent 10 years building up a pretty big snowball that then just grew like crazy for another 25 years, even after they stopped pushing it. Person B started with a much smaller snowball and just could never catch up.
And look, the numbers just don't lie. A 10-year delay, from 25 to 35, could easily add 15 years to your career. If you wait until you're 40, you could be looking at working an extra 2 decades just to reach the same goal. Every year you wait doesn't just cost you a year of growth, it costs you compounding on top of compounding. It's like a debt to your future self that just gets bigger every single day.
Okay, so the problem is crystal clear, and yeah, the numbers are a little scary, I get it. But the really good news is this is totally fixable, even if you feel like you're already behind. So let's switch gears from the problem to the solution. First things first, let's just be real about the mental blocks we all have. Do any of these sound familiar? These are the little stories we tell ourselves to make it okay to wait. We think a small amount won't make a difference, or that we'll have more cash to invest later. But the truth is, you don't need a bigger paycheck to start. You just need a better system.
So here it is, a super simple 6-step plan. 1. Start today. Seriously, time is your biggest asset. 2. Automate it. Set up a system so your money gets invested without you even thinking about it. 3. Bump it up every year as your salary goes up. 4. Don't be scared of market dips. They're actually sales, a chance to buy more for less. 5. Keep your spending in check. Invest your raises instead of just upgrading your lifestyle. And 6. Invest smart. Pick assets that are built for long-term growth and can beat inflation.
You know, when you boil it all down, it comes down to a choice.
It's a choice between the instant gratification of today and the incredible security and freedom of your future self.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? The goal isn't just to earn more, it's to start earlier. The truly wealthy people aren't always the highest earners, they're the people who started the earliest. This completely changes the game from a goal that feels impossible, like earning more, to one that's completely in your control, just starting now.
And that really is the bottom line. You can always find ways to make more money, but you can never, ever get back lost time. Every single day that goes by is a day you lose a little bit of that compounding power. Time is your single greatest weapon on this journey. So I'll just leave you with this one thought. It doesn't have to be some huge, life-altering decision. What is one small, tiny step you can take right now, today, to give your future self the gift of time? The clock really is ticking. Thanks for tuning in.